Hello everyone, Shadefyre here, and welcome to another Elden Ring video, in which we're going to do a bunch of different things. So I'm about 15 hours into the game now, and I've definitely made some discoveries, found some things, and found a bunch of things to do in this video, sort of threads for us to tug on and see where they lead. As you can see here, I've done quite a bit of exploring of these two areas, including about half of Caelid here, which is the area that trap from the previous video dumped me. And once I got out of that cave, I could have just teleported back to Limgrave, but instead I decided I would, map out the area, and I found the map shrines, which is why I have an actual map now instead of just the vague one you start with. I'm also going to say that this map reminds me a lot of the physical map that Morrowind came with when you bought it, or at least when I bought it, it came with a physical map. It had the same sort of visual look and texture, and you could actually look at little points on the map like these and be like, oh, there's actually something there to go and explore. So I've been doing that and finding all kinds of stuff. But you'll know that there's a map shrine because you'll see a little tower icon on the map, and you head towards that, you'll find something. But yeah, there's a bunch of places to explore. We're probably going to dip into Caelid. Though, as I discovered when I got dumped there, it's still a little too strong for me, most of the stuff here. There is some real monstrosities and some tough knights over this way. But we're going to explore a little bit there. We're basically just going to be dipping into a bunch of different things that I haven't done yet. To start off, we're going to be looking for that dragon that apparently lives in this lake, because I've gone looking for it 3 times now and I've not found it. I've always ended up somewhere else. Also, you can see I'm using the Great Epee now over the Uchigatana, because this is basically the great sword version of a fencing sword. It's got great range, it's fast, and it's really good at breaking poise, and the skill for it is basically almost a guaranteed poise break on a humanoid enemy, where you lunge forward like that and stagger them, and then you can finish them off. It does seem to scale more with dex, but right now it's still pretty much just D dex scaling and D strength scaling, and you do need 15 strength to be able to use it. So yeah, somewhere in this lake there is a dragon. That NPC told us there's a dragon, and there's dragon burnt ruins, but I've not actually seen just a dragon hanging around. Also, giant enemy crab. There's also a crab trap here where 3 giant ones come out of the ground. Still haven't found a use for these crab eggs, though. Is that a health scarab or is that an ashes scarab? I think that's an ashes scarab. Okay, so that is the skill that the Uchigatana starts with. Basically, those are just skills you can equip onto other weapons and replace their starting one. I'm kind of curious how limited that is, because I'm not sure how you'd do that without having some kind of katana weapon, and I've yet to find another katana weapon. Okay. So here's the Dragon Burnt Ruins with the trap that dumped me across the world. Which means the dragon shouldn't be far from here, but again, there's not a lot of places you can hide a dragon. I have run into some other dragons in the world. I haven't killed any of them yet. I haven't even really fought any of them. But I think this is supposed to be the first dragon you fight. Oh, no, that was just the tree. Thought I saw movement in the air. Alright, we got a lot of boys out here. I don't think I've seen these guys. Oh, there he is. Okay, yeah, so he wasn't actually here yet, which is why I couldn't see him. Let's give him a try. I also don't think I've fought any story-important bosses yet. I think most of them are inside of castles, because when we check the map again, I'll show you that the grace doesn't just point to the next story boss, it will just point to the nearest one, so there's a couple different paths that they'll point to. Ooh. Okay, that did so much damage. I'm guessing the head is probably going to do more damage than the legs, but it's obviously much less safe to attack. He seems a fair bit easier with Torrent than he would be otherwise. I think you can still probably beat him without the horse, but the horse kind of trivializes it. Though he is also probably meant to be an earlier boss than I am now. I'm probably a bit over-leveled for this. I will say that after fighting the enemies in Caelid, and I was kind of like, oh man, maybe this game is actually a bit hard for me, I came back here to Limgrave and suddenly felt much more powerful. Oh shit. The one thing a dragon will always kill you with is fire. But yeah, I was fighting knights there, and it's like, I was killing some of them, but it always felt like I was kind of not strong enough, because I could kill one of them without too much trouble, but fighting like 5 of them at once, I was like, these enemies are too much for me. So I think that got me a little better at dealing with these easier enemies in Limgrave. Okay, jumping got me not to get hit twice instead of just the once. So I think that Torrent's health actually does scale with yours, so you can't really upgrade him directly, it's just he gets stronger as you get stronger. Alright, Dragon, are you just gonna keep spamming fire now? It definitely does better damage to go for the head, but it's harder to hit. So as long as I don't get hit with a big blast of fire, I should be able to take this guy pretty easily. Okay, how am I supposed to get up there, dickhead? Fucking dragonflies. Hello? Dragon? Dragon, come back. I can't get up there. There's literally no way to get up there from down here. Can you just, like, re-aggro on me, please? Let's see, can I target him? Because I might be able to hit him with the bow. Oops. I need to do this, and then this. He's at actually range, I think. Let's see if I can drop an arrow on him. There we go. Come here. Man, this game would be really annoying without a bow. Are you fucking kidding me? He still hit me from that far away with fire. Nope, nope. So this fire has extremely long range, which is why you fight him in a big-ass lake. There's another dragon we could go check out that I probably can't beat, because I'm pretty sure he afflicts you with scarlet rot. I don't know how to avoid that when he's that close. I keep trying to jump out of it, but that's not working. It's just the fire. Just like that fucking ancient dragon in Dark Souls 2. The only thing that's hard about him is the fire. And I don't think you can really get your fire resistance enough up that you can just ignore that. I have a shield that I think is good against fire, but I very much doubt it would block all of his fire, because it would just rip apart your stamina, and then you would get hit by all the fire anyway. I kind of feel like you need to run towards him when he does that close fire. Like, that one's easy to avoid, because it's just a straight line. He doesn't actually target you specifically. But when he does the, like, I'm just gonna hop backwards and spit fire on you thing, okay. That fire, did you see that curve sideways up that fucking wall? That was a little bullshit. I'm not worried about losing my runes, because I had, like, 1,000, which is not very much right now. Because I'm at the point where it costs me about 4,500, I think, to level up. But we're gonna get this dragon. I'm confident I can beat him. I just have to be less cautious, because I'm being a bit cautious about the fire now. Somehow I don't think I could break his poise. I keep saying it's poise, but it's stance is the official term. That one didn't go as far. That was more of a cone. I got stuck at a small tree. Somehow I didn't get hit there. It's a little funny to me that his name is Flying Dragon, because it implies that the other ones do not fly. And again, like, this boss still does not really tank the FPS, but the Tree Sentinel did. I did kill the Tree Sentinel, though. He's kind of annoying, but he's actually really easy to cheese sometimes with Torrent. I got to a point where I did like half of his health just by walking in a circle around him on my horse. Why? Why does he keep jumping up there? Why can't there be an invisible wall to keep him from going up there? Come on, don't forget I'm here. I do not trust that fire. I feel like it's going to crawl across the ground down here. Look at him, like, clinging to the side of the cliff. Oh, shit. That was very close. Dragon, please come back. I'm gonna run out of arrows if he keeps going up there. Please just, like, fall off the cliff or something. He's almost there. Oh, shit. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to avoid this one. Okay. Didn't go as far as I thought. But yeah, this is the downside to having no edges, the boss arenas, is that weird shit like this can happen. Oh, the stutter is back. It seems to come back randomly now instead of just being all the time. Like, I keep thinking I've gotten rid of it, and then suddenly it'll reappear. And then I thought, okay, maybe it's a hard drive problem, but every check comes back with, nope, hard drive is fine. So I don't know how to fix that now. You just have to hope it doesn't happen. Finally. What? Are you fucking kidding me? Well, at least he didn't heal. The game is just like, you're not supposed to be here, and reset his position. Well, that was weird. I've never had anything like that happen yet with bosses. But I've never had a boss this big in an open area. As long as he doesn't one-shot me, I'm doing pretty good here. I still got 4 flasks. It's a weird thing, too, where when I start having this problem pop up with the stutters, it seems to be consistent. Like, I could close the game and relaunch it and it'll still be happening, and then I'll just have to wait and play it later, which I might have to do. I think we're gonna quit out after this boss and then see if I can fix it, because I don't want to have another entire video of that shit. I really didn't think it was going to happen again here, too, because it was running fine until, 10 minutes, 15 minutes in. Great enemy felled. I don't think I've seen that pop up yet. I guess it's a dragon heart. A new draconic power is available at the Cathedral of Dragon Communion. I was about to say that we can offer that for some dragon powers, which I don't have the stats for. Maybe I should invest a little bit into that, because I've noticed that the requirements for spells, at least, seem to be pretty low. Like, none of them, except one, have had very high stat requirements. I hate these dragonflies. Like, they attack you, so you can't ignore them completely, but they do so little damage that they're mostly just there to be a nuisance. And the only thing they drop is their head, which I've yet to find a use for. Okay, so let's get rid of this god-awful stuttering, and then we'll continue our adventures, because we've managed to kill a dragon, which I didn't expect. I wasn't sure we'd be able to take him yet. Also, just something I want to note. You can see how it looks like this is most of the map. I know it's not, for a fact, because again, why would they have this much ocean over here if there wasn't something above it? But also, as an in-game hint, without seeing other people talk about it at all, you can sort of see sometimes that there is clearly something closer to the Erdtree beyond this bridge. So that's the other side of the ocean on my map up there. And to add to the mystery of that, I got an item, a key item here, which is the Dectus Medallion Left. Left half of a split medallion depicting the Erdtree. Brandishing the medallion with both halves conjoined will activate the Grand Lift of Dectus, connecting the Altus Plateau to Liurna. And I believe Liurna is an area up to the left side. The right half is said to reside in Fort Haight in the Dragon Barrow far to the east. So I think you need both pieces of this to access one of the areas. And I know where Dragon Barrow is. I think it's kind of this area. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to mark the sub-areas on the map. There's the tunnel I got teleported to. So yeah, there's still half of Caelid that I have to investigate, which maybe we'll do when I go over there. Noticing no stutters now. I'm going to restart the game anyway. We'll see how this goes. So, let's pop back in a moment. Alright, I changed some settings and I restarted my computer, so let's see if that pays off or if it's going to come right back with a vengeance. I tested it out by just sitting here and spinning the camera for 2 minutes, and it didn't stutter, so hopefully it's gone again. But yeah, it's really annoying that I thought I had fixed that, and then it just randomly comes back sometimes. But like I mentioned before, I have that happen in Monster Hunter Rise as well sometimes, and that's installed on the same drive. The only other possibility I considered is that maybe the drive is overheating, but even that doesn't make sense to me because I played for 4 hours straight last night, and it didn't happen once, so I don't know what it is, but at least I can play the game without stutters sometimes. My other option is to try installing it on one of my other drives and see if it still happens, but my other drives don't have a lot of space. This is my 1 terabyte SSD that's installed on. The other ones are smaller than that. Okay, so we slew the dragon, so that's one of our objectives checked off. What are we going to do next? I think we'll go over here to Fort Haight, which is where I got that first half of that disc, and see what kind of party this guy's going to throw for me, because I was asked to capture this castle by some little, like, noble loser who was hiding on top of a bridge over here. He's like, oh, go take back my castle for me. I'm the rightful ruler of Limgrave. But it's like this shitty little fort with a couple guys in it. So apparently he's going to make me a knight. More likely he's going to be eaten by demi-humans, which he is apparently buds with. So far, the NPCs are pretty clear when they want you to do a quest. I still don't think the game tracks that stuff at all, so you just have to remember it. But they'll tell you, like, hey, go here and do this, which is nice. Because trying to follow the NPC quest lines in Dark Souls was very much a matter of coincidence more than something you could intentionally do. Because they almost never told you where they were going. It's just like you'd have to go to the right place at the right time to encounter them again. And it was very difficult to get all the way through their storylines most of the time. Because like some of them, you had to summon them into specific boss fights, which meant you had to have humanity to even see those summons. And some of them, like, Sigmire is a good example. The end of his questline has a very stupid, very specific thing where it's like, there's a bunch of enemies in a pit, and he jumps down, and you have to make sure he doesn't take too much damage, but he also has to kill a certain number of those enemies. So you have to, like, sort of help him. Oh, was that a stutter? That was only 1, not 2. So that might have just been a load. Alright, so here's Fort Haight. It's full of demi-humans now, so I'm pretty sure this didn't work out well. But this is, I think, their dead mother on the ground here, so I think that's why they're upset. And he seemed to think that he could just befriend them again after the knights had killed their mother. These guys are really not much of a threat, even in groups now. They hesitate to attack you a little too much, which makes them easy to pick off one at a time. Though I've noticed there are some places where, you remember that boss I fought in the previous video, the chieftains or whatever, there was 2 of them? I found quite a few of those just in certain areas, so there are tougher demi-humans out there. Okay, I don't know where this guy is. There's like 1 room in this castle. And it's this one. This small, dark room. And he doesn't appear to be in here. But yeah, considering that sounds like a plot-important item, that disc, it's surprising that you find it in this shitty little fort. But it's nice that it tells you where the other one is, and I assume the other one would tell you where this one is. I guess the other place he could be is on top of the battlements here where the one knight was. Oh no, here he is. Well, this actually is where the knight was. Never mind. There's just a treasure chest up there.
Ah, you, is it? I suppose you must have seen it by now, yes. The sorry state of my fort? Oh, indeed, it is a foul fate for a land to be without a ruler. One must be found, with haste, and not that awful Godric, but a true and stalwart lord of the proper lineage to take the reins of Limgrave.
That's it. Also, I was mixing up Godric and Goldwyn. Apparently, Godric is a descendant of Goldwyn. Goldwyn being the demigod that's murdered in that first cutscene.
I'm sorry to have lifted your hopes, but I haven't the authority to raise you to knighthood as things stand. The great Kenneth Haight issues his sincerest apology. But now, I must begin my search post-haste for a true and stalwart lord of the proper lineage to take the reins of Limgrave.
Wait, so he wants someone to be the Lord of Limgrave, even though he said he was the Lord, so I guess he doesn't have a lot of faith in himself. Oh, no, there's the stuttering again.
I must begin my sort of true...
Okay, well, I guess I'll come back and hit you up if I find a Lord. You can see Caelid over there in the horrible mushroom growths. Alright, well, that was a little less eventful than I expected. Where are we going now? Now, we could go down here to Castle Morn. If I remember correctly, though, it's a pretty bad scene in there. We could also go over here. I haven't explored this side of this part of Limgrave. I think this is still Limgrave down here. Oh yeah, there was a little town here where everybody was on fire from the inside. There was no explanation for that. But that's where I kind of stopped in this direction. Morn Tunnel, that's another mine. But I think we're also just going to have to stop recording because whatever is causing that stuttering is just going to have to wait a couple hours, I guess, before it'll stop. It's so fucking annoying. And I don't know how to troubleshoot it. Why am I stuck guarding? Great, now I have to figure out what keyboard key is guard so he'll stop doing it. It's like left trigger is stuck in, but it's not. I can pull left trigger or left bumper. But there's nothing wrong with left bumper. I'm pressing it, so whatever the key is on the keyboard. Okay, well, hitting escape seems to have fixed it. Yeah, see? It's always just 2 stutters like that, never just 1. But, I guess we'll have to cut the video here again and just fucking come back to this whenever it decides to behave. I really wish I could pinpoint what's causing that. Because I assume it's going to be a problem for other games I install on this drive as well. But it might be time to try installing this on one of my other drives and seeing if that resolves the stutters. So, I will see you back in this video again in a moment. Alright, take 3, I guess. I ran in circles for literally like 4 minutes, and not a single stutter, and this is still the same session as the last part, so I haven't even closed the game, and now it's not stuttering, and I don't know what it is. But let's delve a little further, see what happens. I may just need to accept that this game is a little unreliable, because it's been a while since I've had to use a bunch of esoteric fixes to try and get a game to just run normally. And it's not even like this is too much for my system or something, because it's not even utilizing most of the system resources. You know, my GPU is pretty low most of the time when it's running this. Okay. Someone is firing siege weapons at these guys. There's a ballista up there. I don't know if I've been up there. Like, the map says I've been this way, but maybe I haven't been on this hill. Anyway, to address what I said about them just pointing to the nearest important boss, you can see these kind of lines of graces where they point you towards, you know, the next story boss, so there are a couple different paths to follow. But that way, you know which ones you need to kill in order to beat the game. I haven't tried going any of those ways yet, but maybe we'll check one of those castles. It does seem like most of them are in castles, though. I think that's one of the poison flowers, yep. There's a bigger version of these that shoot lasers at you from the sky. They call down, like, magic airstrike. Thankfully, these don't actually do damage. They just try to poison you. They have a pretty big radius for their size, though. Ugh. I think I have some boluses. That one doesn't even seem to be targetable. It's just like buried in the ground. One of these days, I'll actually pull out the bow when I mean to pull out the bow, and switch to the horse when I mean to switch to the horse. I'm gonna try shooting it. Really? Tiny sliver of hell. Is that a dog? It looked kind of dog-shaped, but there are a lot of things that are dog-shaped that are not actually dogs in this game. Okay. Switch to this. Oh, yeah, those are more rot dogs. I have one of those of my own. I have a ghost version that I got in Caelid. So that right there is one of the downsides of the Great Epée. It's not good at targeting enemies that are low to the ground when they're close to you. You tend to stab over their head. Especially because the attack when you come out of a roll is like an upward stab. So when you go like this, you can see you kind of go for the face. Which is good against knights, but again, not great against like dogs. You're better off just using the swipe. Which does not do piercing damage, so that's not as good against knights. It is still good against staggering them, though. Okay, there's a dude up here shooting. And again, there's no staggers. It stutters. It seems to have just stopped. And I hate that. I wish there was an identifiable cause for it. It's just one random guy. It's not even like a knight. Hand ballista and ballista bolts. Alright. Guess that's just like a mini ballista. So maybe the equivalent to the great bow. I wish I could jump off here. I have, however, learned that those upward drafts, like the one that I kept dying in the first impressions, if you land on them, it also cancels out fall damage. So I could have actually jumped down that cliff and not died when I realized that I couldn't jump across. Alright, well, kind of gotta get back down there. This is a very mountainous area out here. But I want to get back to where we just were before I get distracted by the ballista bolts. That might be fall damage. It's still definitely more generous than the other Souls games were for how far you can fall before you take damage. But again, most of the time, if you're going to take fall damage, it'll kill you instantly rather than do a chunk of your health. I think I saw an item down there. I've only encountered 2 of those giant bears that people were posting about. One of them I killed. One of them I did not. Okay, these guys. These guys are a bit tougher than the demi-humans. And there's a castle full of them. I think that's Castle Morn, where the courtyard has like 15 of them in it. So they just annihilated me as a big group. But individually, they're not very tough. They are just like kind of an upgrade on the demi-human in that they are weak individually but try to swarm you. There's also some other mention of a spider that dismembers people and then fuses them together. Some NPC was like, I want to have that happen to me, but I'm scared. And then she gave me a ghost jellyfish. I'm not really sure what these things are. These ghost candles. When you activate it, you basically get like a guy's ghost that you can follow, and I don't know if it like leads you to treasure. I also don't know if I followed the previous one I found correctly, but yeah, he lays down this track of footprints, so he leads you somewhere. But I think I touched him last time and it made him despawn. So I don't know what they lead you to. Okay, the trail does continue below. I don't want to interrupt him. So I don't know if he's leading me to another cave or a treasure chest, but this seems like some kind of follow for treasure. And this is not the first one of these I've seen, like I said. Yeah, there does seem to be a cave down here and a grace. So I don't know if the other one was leading me. I guess not, because that's what happened when I touched him, so. He led me where he was trying to lead me. Can't take the horse in here. Earthbore Cave. I don't know, sounds a little earth-boring. Generally, the caves have been pretty small. Most of them don't lead anywhere, they just lead you to a boss that you fight to get one item. I do like that the bosses actually give you shit now. Like, some of them will just give you their weapons, instead of having to, like, upgrade a weapon and then use the boss's soul to turn that weapon into a boss weapon. Great. Giant rat. I should have expected that. Never will there be a treasure chest just sitting out in the open without some kind of trap. Now I do have the torch, so if this whole cave is this dark, I'm gonna bring that out. But I mean, you generally don't need a light source to fight in the dark, at least not against simple enemies like these. I seem to have just fallen into a rat cave. Which is fine, these rats are not very tough, even the big one. And now that we killed the big one, these rats don't have any more rules. Glowstone. Kukri, which is a throwing weapon. God, God, it is really dark in here. Maybe I'll at least put the torch on my hotbar instead of the bow, because we're not going to be using the bow down here. Okay. Gotta go deeper to go back up. Want to make sure I don't fall into a pit. Well, actually, it seems like I've kind of fucked myself, because that's a really long drop. That would be a stupid trap, though. Okay. It was a little misleading in how far away it was. It's interesting that Dark Souls 2... I hear something big on the left. Dark Souls 2 tried to do more with the torch and make it something you actually regularly need to use. But then I feel like they sort of get away from that midway through the game and then never really go back. That's a bear. A bear is actually manageable, especially in a space like this. Because the one... Oh, Rune Bear. He's a better bear. Ooh, yeah, that was not a good time to jump under him. Bear hug. Which doesn't do very much damage compared to his other attacks. If I can stagger him, that would be nice. This would probably be a good time to use my Impale. I fucking just barely missed. Another thing that's worth noting is your defense actually goes up every single time you level up in this. So you do get stronger even if you're not putting points into defensive stuff. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to stun him. Oh, there we go. Shit. But yeah, that seems to do way less damage than just getting slapped by him. Oh, come on. Oh boy. I shouldn't have tried to heal there. Sometimes it is just better to have very low health and keep rolling instead of trying to heal. But yeah, he's not very difficult. I wonder if I could jump to that chest. Like, knowing it's a trap, just be like, whoop. It's probably gonna be a fucking trap chest, too. Nope. Just a pickled turtleneck. Or 3 of them, but... See, that first swing... I probably should have killed the big rat first. That first swing... always goes kind of up. It was a good idea to take out the big rat first last time. Okay, I'm hoping I get one of my charges back when I kill this rat. Because otherwise I've kind of wasted some of my healing already. I did see somebody selling another type of torch that specifically animals are afraid of, and I wonder if that would be helpful here. If the bears would be afraid of it at all. However, with a boss like this, I don't think it's worth trying to use the shield. I think he hits hard enough that he would just... Okay. Stagger you. Yeah, that was not going to be the one. Fucking immediately get hit. So now we resort to the old style of Dark Souls boss run, where you just ignore everything and go straight where you need to go. Except I don't know how to get out of this cave. I don't know where the damn door is from where I drop. Excuse me. I think I went a different way. I don't remember there being a dead guy here. Probably would have helped to pull out the torch. Okay, well, there's the summon thing. I don't think that summon thing actually has anything to do with your spirits. Okay, this is just the way out. So this is not the way I want to go. I am wedged on rats. I tried to run through them. I'm like, wait, no, you have to jump over them. And then it was too late. But yeah, I don't know where the door is. So I'm gonna keep the torch out this time. Let's see where we need to go. It's this one. The one that's glowing. I don't know how I didn't see that last time when I was spinning around. At least I will have an endless supply of silver fireflies, which I also don't have a recipe for, so I don't know what they're good for. Okay, let's not let him immediately take off like half my health. See, like, you don't want to get far away from this bear, because that's when he does his big lunges, like that. But I think this is just the big bears with a little bit more health. Same moves and everything. That should be the finisher. And you see, he just gives me a talisman, and that's like the reward for this dungeon. Spelldrake Talisman, which probably increases spells. I'm using one that increases charge attack right now, because that seems to be like the only super useful one to me. Boost magical damage negation. Ancient dragons who ruled in the prehistoric era before the Erdtree would protect their lord as a wall of living rock. And so it is that the shape of the dragon has become symbolic of all manner of protections. Okay, that's actually not what I thought it was, but that's useful against magic damage bosses. What else do we got here? Anything that has this purple glow means it's actually an important item. Oh, it's just another Trina's lily. I don't have a recipe for those either. I think they make sleep arrows, though. Alright, well, that was the bear and rat cave. How would that bear ever get out of the cave? How long has it been trapped down there? So thanks for that little adventure, ghost guy. That's not even why we were here. Well, I mean, I guess we were here to explore the map. I'm gonna warp back to here again, and we're gonna head down the road. Because there's something on the map here that looks pretty interesting. This thing up here looks like it's got to be significant. I'm going to mark that. And we're going to head towards it. But it's fun having those little, like, mini adventures where you just find a cave like that and you're like, well, this is what I'm doing right now. Forget whatever I was doing before. It looks like these guys do reset, though. Okay, now, I think that place we're trying to get to is on top of a cliff. So, I don't know if we need to take a bridge to it. Limgrave definitely seems to be the land of giant ruins. I think this is the demi-human ruins, which I've already cleared out. Every one of those ruins will have one of those little rooms underneath. Sometimes it has a boss, sometimes it has a chest, and sometimes it has an NPC shop. Okay, well, the place we want to go is up there. Another item for mixing in the flask of magical physic or whatever. I still haven't found one of those. I have a note that tells me where one is, but I haven't followed up on that. This is the one that can cast laser strikes on you, I think. No, that one's a little smaller. There's like a really big one that I encountered in one of the ruins. Okay, whatever we're going to is up here. These guys also appear to be going up here. Pilgrims on the road, perhaps? Wizard! Fucking hate wizards. That's a church. I wasn't expecting that. The Mausoleum prowls, cradling the soulless demigod. Okay. That was a weird thing to say. This looks similar to the church where the people were on fire. Grace up. Okay, another sacred tier, and those let you permanently increase how much your flasks heal you for, so that's a pretty good thing to find. And I guess you find them in churches? Because like I said, the other one I found was in a identical church in the burning town. So, there does seem to be a kind of rule for these various zones you find. The non-unique looking ones will have always kind of the same features as similar other ones. So there's another Erdtree over here, a little one. And I don't know if there's any significance to the Erdtrees themselves, because they mark them on the map as though they are something important, but I don't know what you really do with them. Some of them seem to have bosses hanging around them. I guess we can just go check this one out. Oh, these are tree soldiers. They seem to show up around them. It's like dudes with trees growing out of their backs. Why? Why do they lock onto that? And I found out what these things are. These weird statues. They point you towards a nearby catacomb. Specifically only catacombs. And I thought catacombs were just for the purpose of getting new ashes, new summons, but the last one I cleared out just gave me a hammer instead because there was a dude with 2 hammers on chains as the boss. Alright, I'm not actually going to go into these ones. The catacombs have all been pretty samey. They have like the same enemies in them and just different layouts of traps. So I'm just going to mark that grace so I can come back to it later. I really love this sword. It just has such great range. It has penetration. It's faster than some of the other weapons. And it has both a long range forward as well as a long range horizontally with the sweep. Like, you can hit a lot of enemies with that attack. So I consider those a worthwhile trade-off for some of the other problems. Okay, this looks like one of the other bosses I've run into. I think this is an Erdtree Guardian right ahead. However, the last one that I ran into was infected with the Scarlet Rot as well, so I couldn't fight him because every time he would do this, like, splash attack, it just coats the entire arena in Scarlet Rot. But hopefully this guy doesn't have that because he's not... You know, he's not infected. However, these guys fight exactly like the demons from Dark Souls. The big hammer demons, like the Asylum Demon. Same moveset, same general shape. They still do the butt stomp. I do think these guys are actually pretty easy because I had no problem dodging the other guy's attacks, except for the big splash attack, which this guy shouldn't have. He does hit pretty hard, though. Oh no, not this one. This one turns into lasers. This was the one I couldn't dodge. So I forgot about that one. I don't know what that attack I just did was. Oh. Okay, yeah, so when the other one did that attack, he just coats the arena in, like, acid that infects you with Scarlet Rot. Too early. I don't know how that missed. And I got complacent. However, there's a respawn literally right there. I'm curious about these jars, because I met one goofy-ass jar who had his ass stuck in the ground. It's literally just a jar with arms and legs, who called himself a warrior jar. So I'm wondering if those contain, like, cremated warriors, and they have to make their way to the Erdtrees, because that's what this seems to indicate, since it was exactly the same kind of jar. And there's this implication that the only way to really die is to bring yourself to the Erdtree and be absorbed by the roots. Otherwise, you will continue to reanimate. I don't think I can stagger this guy. I think he's too sturdy. He is a lot more bullyable than some of the other large enemies. Ugh, no, not again. I got really lucky with the timing there. Ooh. Really hoping the jar would have blocked those, but not even one of them. Yeah, see, I'm trying to get greedy with the stagger, and I don't think I can stagger him. I might be able to dodge these by running sideways. Yeah, because you could do that with some of the homing spells in previous Souls games. Well, fuck that Tree Knight guy. I'm definitely getting a little complacent if the bosses start getting easy. Like, oh, I'm doing pretty good damage. I can just keep hitting him. But no, you still do have to roll even when you're tougher. I think we can take him, though. He's pretty simple. I can't believe that missed. This is still very much the case, though, where you want to roll into the attacks instead of away from them. Because you notice they miss a lot more when I roll into him. Well, now I know how to avoid that attack with the other one. I just have to figure out how to avoid the splash. I could probably fight this guy on horseback, but I think he might actually be easier this way. Oh, there we go. I actually staggered him. That was getting greedy. That was stamina too. Okay, so he's not a great enemy, he's just an enemy. Opaline Bubble Tier. Wonder if that's something I can give to the merchant. There's a merchant in the kind of hub area, and you can upgrade their inventory by giving them some kind of item. And I think it might be these bubble tiers. Let's see. No, not crafting. Key items. A crystal tear forms slowly over the ages when the Erdtree's bounty falls to the ground, can be mixed in the flask of wondrous physic. Significant damage negation. Only occurs once and will expire after a certain duration. Okay, so I really need to find this flask of wondrous physic because I keep finding things to put into it. So is that all he drops? The Erdtree makes kind of a magical sound, but that's about it. Well, that was fun. That was a very simple boss. Alright, we're probably going to wrap up soon because we've had some adventures now despite the technical difficulties. But I didn't even get to some of the other stuff I wanted to do. Oh, that's what that sound is. It's not even the Erdtree at all. So those guys will just refill your flask charges. But I'm already full, so didn't get anything. I hear chanting coming from over here. Some kind of monk. This is also not good against flying enemies because you stab downwards when you're on horseback. That. The chanting seems to have stopped. I think it was coming from down here. More bats. See, I love being able to just drop into a crowd and do that when they're not expecting it. Golden Rune 6, that's got to be some good money. But who was singing? Thought it was going to be an NPC. Since usually whenever you're near one out in the field, they will start calling to you. You'll be like, hey, is anyone there? Maybe he's up there. Hello? Yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything. Alright, let's see if we can find ourselves a grace over here. And then Our last thing I think we'll do is we'll teleport over to Caelid. I keep forgetting the name. And just kind of look at a few things there before we wrap up. And then maybe next time, we'll actually do some Caelid adventuring. I was planning to go to the castle in this video as well, but the world is vast, and there are many things to see. I gotta stop doing that. What the hell was that sound? It was like a horn? I thought I heard a sleeping bear as well. Oh, that must be the Mausoleum. Kind of looks like a colossi. How would I get up there, I wonder? I feel like you'd have to wait until it gets close to a cliff or something and then jump on it. Well, that's pretty cool, though. There's not a lot of places where I've seen something huge walking around. Like, there are the trolls, which I thought were giants before, but there's not really much going on with them. I'm hoping this thing walks right up to the cliff so I can just jump on it. Because there's got to be somewhere along its route where it gets close to something. Either that or there's a torrent jump, but I'm not seeing one from up here. Hello? Obviously there's a door. I wonder if there's a boss in there. I thought maybe it has a ladder hanging off the back or something, but not really seeing any. A lot of guys on the ground. Well, that's cool. It's a cool thing to just see. Is that a man? No, that's just a whatever you call hollows in this game. I don't suppose I have to fight this thing. It doesn't really look fightable. I bet there's another sacred tier in this church. Who are these motherfuckers? I think they're headless knights. So this is something that the Great Epee is especially good at because... Oh, okay, well that didn't work. Normally it would stagger them if you hit their shield, because it goes right through blocks, but these guys are special ghosts or something. That teleport ability would be more useful for them if it broke your lock-on. Mausoleum surcoat. Okay, so they must have something to do with that thing. Mausoleum Knights. That ability really doesn't help them much. They're still pretty easy. Fourth Church of Marika. There is a grace here. And probably another sacred tier. Man, I wasn't finding any of these before, and now suddenly I found 3 in quick succession. Not enough to level up yet. Flasks, increase amount replenished. Okay, so unlike the golden seeds, those don't increase the number you need in order to get the next upgrade. Which means my flasks should nearly full heal me right now. Alright, so that's enough of that exploration. Let us go over to the nightmare zone of Caelid, where everything is bad and rotten and covered in fungus. Let's see if I can even remember the one I'm thinking of. Okay, there's Celia Crystal Tunnel. I think it's this one. Or this one. Somewhere around here, there's another dragon. So as you can see, Caelid is a much different looking place than where we just came from. It's covered in this rot shit everywhere, and there's a blood swamp that poisons you with scarlet rot. It's a bad place. It's a hostile place, and it was not a nice place to walk out of that crystal tunnel that I got teleported to and be like, well, I'm fucking in hell now. I don't think this is the right one. Oh, no, it is. There he is. So yeah, there's a big old furry dragon here. Also, if you want to take screenshots, you can actually turn off the HUD when you're using the periscope. Okay, I think he saw me. Oh, fuck. So this is Decaying Ekzykes, who seems to spray crimson rot instead of fire. Can we go 2 for 2? Probably not. Yeah, he's a lot tougher. Though I don't know if his Scarlet Breath will actually damage you, or if it'll just afflict you. Ooh, even that does Scarlet Rot. Ooh, yeah. So that pretty much insta-kills you. It's way faster than Toxin. But I figured I wouldn't be able to beat that dragon yet. He's a little tougher. However, that said, I do have the ability to craft dragon grease, which lets you do extra damage to dragons if you apply it to your weapon, so that might be the thing to use on him. I just haven't found one of the items I need for it, which is, like, dragon scale rocks. Because apparently the dragon's scales all fell off and became rocks that are good against killing dragons. So yeah, I just wanted to show you him because he's cool. It's a cool thing to wander across. And he's one of those bosses you can just walk away from. The other thing I wanted to show you is the nightmarish creatures that live over by this castle, because there are 2 of them, or 2 types of them, and they're both great. Also, this is what the map shrines look like. I think. Pretty sure that when you find one of these, it'll have a map sitting at the bottom. Got a merchant here. I don't think he sells anything useful.
Trade again.
Rot. Yeah, rot bone arrows. That's the only thing he really does. And champion armor. It seems like every one of these traveling merchants will have one set of armor. But these are the things I wanted to show you. These fucking monster crow things. As well as their dog equivalents. These things are so great. Like, I love the way they look. And they're a lot bigger and scarier than I thought initially. I don't think I've killed one of these yet. They're a lot tougher than the dogs. And faster. Did you just... Oh, was that a trap? Did he fake getting staggered? and make the sound just so he could counter. But yeah, I love their just maw crammed with unfitting teeth. Like, these are crows that ate some bad corpses. So they're pretty tough compared to the other similar creature. Oh, I didn't even notice him there. Look at this place, though. It's such a great, different look from Limgrave. And I hope that the other zones are as distinctly different as well. So yeah, in addition to the rotting crow monsters, there's also dogs that are similarly horrific. With their little scrawny arms and their giant mouths. Also, when they howl, it will summon all the other ones. What I want to show you over here is there's like a battle going on between those dog things and the knights of this castle. Oh, fuck. He's still chasing me. Well. Bye, Torrent. He'll be back soon. Doesn't seem to stay dead for long. God, this thing is determined to kill me. And I am determined to kill it. Because I'm pretty sure there's a stake near here. I love when you try to do this attack on a big enemy and it's too big and you get fucking stuck on it. The upside there is that these guys friendly fire each other, so they don't work well together. And you get credit for them killing each other. So these guys, I've killed a decent number of them, but they still fucking hit really hard. There was still one more left. They're like a little goofy too, though, with their little chicken arms. But yeah, I guess that's the strategy. When a bunch of them come after you, you just fucking run them into each other. Okay, so what's supposed to happen over here is when we get close enough, these guys like spring an ambush on the... Oh. Usually this guy doesn't come after me. I've died here a bunch of times, but I eventually did clear out this entire area where the fight's happening. Two charged attacks will typically drop these guys. So you can get that hit in. Ooh, right under his chin. So one of them, not too bad. Pretty easy to stay near his feet, and he doesn't have an AoE attack, so he can't punish you for getting close to him like a lot of the other big enemies can. Where did I die? I know I've let my runes go to waste a few times in this video. Also, the knights down here, they seem like they normally win against these things, so I find that if you want to help clear them out, just lure some war into the fight. But you don't really see something like this in the other Souls games, where there's just a huge battle going on. Oh, the stutters are back. It's okay, we're gonna wrap up in a moment. But there's just a huge battle going on that you can kind of like sort of participate in. I think Sekiro had a couple spots like this where there was a fight going on before you arrived. These are the guys that were giving me trouble though, these red knights. And that's why I was like, a weapon that does piercing is actually going to be a lot better against them than my slashing weapon, which they're resistant to. Fucking Zweihander guys. I think their moveset is the same as the Zweihander in Dark Souls 3. Because, like, I recognize some of the moves from previous games, but I think 3 is where they added some more mobile moves for the Zwei. Alright, last thing, let's go check out the castle itself, where I believe one of the essential plot bosses is waiting. I think it might actually be the lion-faced guy, but I'm not sure. Another interesting thing is that there's a massive desert over there, and I think you might be able to go over there. Because it looks like it's part of this zone here. Oh, there's also another unique enemy over here. What does this thing actually do? I saw it before, and it wouldn't let me use it because there was enemies around. Cannot be used now. Yeah, I don't know what these are. I think I'm still getting souls from stuff killing each other. I imagine that's probably a hellish desert over there, but there's a... Great. Stutters are extra annoying now that they weren't happening this whole time. I don't know if I can even find him. There's like a lion over here with a sword just like bolted onto its arm. Right, now I got this crow on my ass. I think it's over here by the skulls. Yeah, in that little valley there. Ugh, I was really hoping I could lose this guy. I think my stabbing thing is actually doing less to him than the Uchigatana. And unlike the Uchigatana, this doesn't do bleeds, so I can't just stack up hits until I get a big chunk of free damage. Yep. Even better when you have to worry about that happening constantly. Luckily for us, the lion is patiently waiting his turn. He poked his nose out and he's like, yeah, I'm not getting involved. Fuck off. Ooh, that was worth a lot of souls. Sorry, runes. I still say souls sometimes. This guy. I don't know what his deal is, but you can see he's got like a big blade chained to one of his arms. He doesn't seem super happy about it. But he was guarding an item back here, and I actually fell on him from above. Not a good time to look at him. But he fucked me up because he's in a really small little valley, and I was just trapped against the walls. Okay, so I want to stay on his right side. Or just stutter so badly that I freeze completely. But that's another cool enemy I just wanted to show. I don't know what's up with him. If there's more of him, there's probably more in the desert. It's so hard to just put this game down and be like, okay, that's enough. We didn't get to like 3 other things I wanted to do, so I think I'm just gonna save those for the next time it's not stuttering. And it is a game that's large enough that, you know, a lot of people are talking about it and having completely different stories because they went somewhere else entirely. So it's like, oh man, did you run into this yet? No, but did you see this thing? And Souls was already kind of like that early on. 10,000. Yeah, this is unfightable like this. I wonder if he'll follow me all the way to this fight. All right, well, I guess that'll do it for this episode of Adventures in Elden Ring. Next time, we got some more stuff to check out. Like I said, stuff I didn't even get to. There is a cool thing right here. A very cool thing that I was going to start the video with, and then I kind of didn't. There is, of course, this castle up here, which is where the first set of graces guide you to. And I think that's where Godwin, one of them, is. And I believe this also connects to another area, like up here, that is next to the really high one. So those are all places we could go, or we could go over to this desert, because you can see I still haven't explored half of Caelid, and there's clearly another castle here. There's a huge tower over here that you have to, like, physically scale the outside of, and I got, like, 2/3 of the way up before I couldn't find the path and plummeted to my death. I think you can actually see it from here. I think it's that one right there. Actually, maybe not that one. No, it's further away. There's actually a lot of those towers. But I think that's the castle up there. So yeah, plenty more adventures to be had. And maybe next time we'll find a cool boss. Well, we fought a dragon. That was kind of cool. But until then, you Tarnished all, take care.